Okay, ladies, so I'm so excited to talk to you about Mila and Fire because I have been a fan since, oh my God, I think I found out about you guys in like 2015.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time ago.
What year are we in now?
And y'all were popping, like you were in Essence. I mean, it seemed like you were organically just like blowing up. And then I remember looking for your styles maybe a couple years later and I couldn't find anything new. So tell me what happened, like, you know, how did you get started? Why did you guys decide to take a break?
Yeah, I think, well, I'll like start off, but I think we started off, like we said, like right after college. We just really wanted to merge our skill sets, and I think what happened was that we started off so quickly. Like originally we started off on eBay, but it was people that we knew who were buying the things. We literally just wanted to like use eBay as a marketing tool, but our friends were like, I just want to buy it outright. I don't want to have to bid on it. And then like people that have been following our blog, so we immediately had to develop a website within like that first couple of weeks, and then like we kind of
so
just
exciting.
yeah, and it started off really quickly, and it was like easy to maintain. It was still kind of like feeding us, but not really like sustaining our life. You know what I mean? And I think we got to a point where we just like felt like not only was the industry oversaturated, but we felt like we were doing things that weren't necessarily catering to our like aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like organically, we were just like evolving with like the times, and it was like at this point now we're ready to, after our little hiatus, to get back into it organically, where we're producing only vintage items. 90% of the items are hand reconstructed. We don't want to have like this trendy like wholesaling or like reconstructing wholesale items. We really wanted to be more organic, and I think we kind of hit a point where we weren't as motivated anymore.
Yeah.
What would you say, Mark?
I mean, I agree. I think that we realized that there were so many online stores out, and
Yes.
there was a separation between us and them, and we started it out not like in the beginning, because online stores have been a thing for years and years, but ours was special to us, and at a point it became less special because there were so many other competing stores that were doing it, in my opinion, our opinion, also just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
you know,
just
for
because
the
they
sake
could.
of and we did it out of passion.
Yeah.
And theirs was just kind of out of because it's
of
easy.
because
They
of
think it's
social media.
easy. Because of social media.
And not to be like, I want everyone to do whatever they want to do.
For sure.
That's like where I am in life. But a lot of people that were like a little bit removed from us were also doing it in the same exact manner.
Yeah.
And like, not like we would ever be like, hey, I feel like you're whatever. But it was kind of just like, I could tell that they saw that we were doing it, and they were like, oh, we can do it too.
Yeah.
And it just felt like it just wasn't as authentic of a process. You know what I mean? So we were just like, let's just take a moment. We're still doing our own things. She still teaches. I still do like marketing and public relations full time, and like we'll come back to it when it feels right. We're not doing this for the money. We're doing it literally for the craft and like what makes us happy.
And we're good at it. Yeah. We're good at it. We're good at it, and that's the thing.
Oh my gosh, so cocky.
Well, like speaking candidly, there were moments where we had customers who would buy items from us and then use our items and start their own stores.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yes.
There was a time.
I mean, and it was fine when it was like the vintage items or whatever. That was a resale, but these would be items that I had hand sewn and that were being resold. Yeah. And it's like, we obviously hadn't gone through the legality of that process because these items have already been reconstructed. Right. So it's not like original designs, but the reconstructed design is original. And it was just a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys hit on something really important for online marketing today, which is how do you maintain your authenticity in this saturated, like, social media driven world?
Yeah.
Because it's so hard. I mean, we struggle with that as a brand, where we want to have a very distinct voice, but at the same time we're like, oh my God, this is what's hot right now. Like, it starts to pull you in that direction.
I think that's exactly what happened to us.
Yeah. So how do you maintain your grounding and stay true to who you are?
I think once you're not motivated, which sounds bad, but when you don't focus on like revenue, I think revenue comes. Like when we started moving away from our like original purpose, it was because of money things. It was like, oh, this is the type of income we have coming in. Well, if we have multiples of these, we can sell this many, and like we're paying our models, we're paying our makeup artists, and we need to be able to shoot items that we have multiples of. You know what I mean? At that point, because it was a volume thing. And so it's like, if we have these one-of-a-kind pieces, we're not getting as much return on our revenue or our time, which is your revenue. You know what I mean? Or which is your investment as well. And I also, one thing that we did was we started before social media advertising. So when we took a little hiatus, and I started working with other brands, and I'm just like, this ad stuff, we didn't even have that. So we literally built it.
It was all organic.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was crazy because I'm like, I'm doing ads for people and they're blasting off just by putting, $50 to $100 behind things when we didn't even have that to do that. It was kind of crazy. So that was part of the motivation too. Like, hey, we can do it organically again. And there are other tools that weren't in place back then that were making us a little thinner than we should have been,
So I remember the day that I saw that you guys were relaunching, and I think you guys had like 200 comments of people being like, yes, finally, we have been waiting. How did that make you feel?
Oh my goodness.
It's
I think
fantastic.
she was taking an Instagram hiatus
I
at the time.
and she was like relaying all the messages, like, people are saying these things, and it's nice. It was rejuvenating.
I had a conversation with Sunny in the City and Dominique the Diva. I did a panel with them recently, and it was crazy because they were talking about how inspired they are by people who ask them to come do these panels, people who are inspired by them keep them going. So it's we're nervous, right? We've taken over a year and a half hiatus. We don't know what the reception is going to be, and to see all of that with just one post was just okay, calm down. You know what I mean? People, you haven't been doing. I'm getting goosebumps right now. It's kind of freaking out, but it's
of course though,
because it was just such a moment of realization that it's okay that we took this hiatus and that we still have so much support. You know what I mean? And I will say that we probably lost people that didn't know us in that time frame 2,000 followers, just probably people who by mutual friends or someone popular have worn it and they followed us and they were oh, they're not doing anything, which is fine. Because everyone that's following us now that we've maintained really, really supported us from the beginning. So it's just been a rewarding relaunch.
Now I'm getting goosebumps. Seriously.
I got them right now. I was talking.
But it's true though. It makes sense because I think for me, this was something that this is our baby. We call it our baby. So our baby needed to rest a little bit, but now that we are
vacation, it's therapy,
a serious vacation, some therapy, prayer, love, the whole shebang. But everyone has just been so supportive of this, of our break, of our hiatus, but also of our relaunching too, and it feels damn good. It really does.
And even just you asking to speak with us, and we've gotten several inquiries or whatever, but it was just that is also part of the process that's really rewarding. It's just oh my god, look at these messages of people coming in who want to have a conversation with us about relaunching, and it's just it's okay. We're doing the right thing. Don't overthink the process and just do it how you want to do it.
It's so hard not to do that when you're an entrepreneur. Oh my god, the nerves, because everything you put out is being judged by these it feels there's a glass in between. You don't know who these people are.
Definitely.
You're just praying that they're gonna like it.
Yeah.
I think what you were saying about 9,000 real troopers who stand behind you is so important, because everybody we've interviewed so far has said, don't worry about the follower count. But it's so hard not to when we're in the influencer age and you literally get paid based on the amount of followers you have. But you guys are proving that if you actually have 9,000 people who are willing to support you and pay, that is way more important of an investment than having 20,000 people who are not actually interested in what you're doing.
And I see that a lot just on my other side of doing social media management and public relations for clients. It's we will choose someone who has more engagement with less followers too. It's I have friends, our friend Dama, she gets 1,000 likes on her pictures with, because of the work that she's doing in the DJing music sphere with 6,000 followers versus people who have 35,000 followers who are hitting a smaller percentage of and not that even matters too, because all of that stuff is based on very superficial things, why are they following you, what are you, whatever. But it's just those numbers really, really don't matter. They call them vanity metrics. They're just up front, it's this looks good, and then it's oh, I didn't get any new followers or any new sales or responses from this person that I paid for a promotion that had 150,000 followers, you know, and it's those are vanity metrics, you know.
So our business is rooted in influencer marketing, but the truth is, most of the time, influencers, especially the micro-influencers, aren't going to get you sales. They're really good for PR. It makes it look like people are talking about your brand, and I think they're still really useful in that way. But if you're looking for sales,
you got to really get those local people, because in Baltimore, like we know in DC, like we know the really good DJs, the really good musicians, the really good like stylists who are not on this huge scale, but who are like their fan base or their followers or their customers are loyal and their work is great. Like you know, you go to someone's page and you're like, oh my god, you deserve so many more followers. You know, like how does she have this? You know, she's everything, and it's like you go to someone else's page and you're like, what?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just vanity metrics, honestly.
But then you think about like what motivates you also, and the followers are so important and they're like imperative, but also like is your passion behind it? Like are you doing this genuinely because you actually want to, because you're good at it, because you appreciate the work behind it? That matters a lot more, I think, to us also, because there are things that we might put up on our site that like might not sell that well, but we love it. You know, like this is what we're putting everything into it. And the followers and the love and the support and the sales, all those things will follow if what you're doing is like genuine, you know, if it's based in that too.
So can we start, I know we kind of did it backwards, but at the beginning, like how did you guys meet each other?
So we met each other through a mutual friend right before high school. And we were close, we were really cool. And then high school, our big group of friends, like about 9-10 of us, you know, we formed like a really strong partnership. And then college happened and we went to 2 separate schools, but her school was a couple hours away from mine, and she decided that she wanted to come visit me every weekend. And so we're lovers.
I basically was a third roommate.
Yes, she was. Everyone thought she went to my school at some point. They're like, she actually goes here.
Like I was saying, I just need a little more diversity. So I was coming up to Richmond, and it was great. All your friends were really cool, and we were all kind of mutual friends already. Like we kind of knew of each other, so it was like perfect. You know, right in the middle of like home.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
It was
that's
right
true.
in the middle.
And how did you guys wind up launching Mila and Fire together?
Yeah, so we kind of were blogging separately. So I blogged under Playing with Fire.
And that was Mila exclamation.
And our blogs were doing really, really well.
Yeah.
They were like, yours was really heavily fashion. Mine was like fashion, music, art. And then we were already kind of posting our outfits, posting inspiration, and we were getting so much feedback, even just like people like, hey, will you do like some personal shopping for me, or da-da-da-da. And so we were like, yo, let's like make this a thing. What'll be the most organic way? And we're like, Mila and Fire.
Yeah.
You know, we were already blogging under those names. We had already built this like
it's so smart.
separate platform, right? And so we just started from there, and we started on eBay, and we were reselling strictly vintage items. And as soon as we started, people were just like buying our stuff so quickly, and like our friends, they didn't want to bid on it. People who had already been following us, so we were like, okay, let's get a website up, let's just do the work, and it just kind of took off really, really quickly. And it was nice. Yeah.
That is amazing. So when you guys started getting like national coverage, how did that feel?
I remember it was always a surprise, because it was always, no one really, I don't know, maybe they've gotten better at it, but no one really was like hitting us up. It was like follow up. Like, hey, we featured you in the top 10 new brands to follow. And it was like Nasty Gal, Mila and Fire. And we're like, what?
Really?
Yeah, and it was just like, okay, cool. And then a lot of our friends were like in New York, and so they were getting press opportunities, and they just happened to be wearing our clothes. And so, you know, then we were getting featured in like the New York Times and Time Out magazine, and it was just like, and we weren't, but
oh my God.
we didn't
know
one was
these
giving us a heads up. We were just getting like tagged and stuff, and we were just like, what is going on? You know, so that was awesome.
Yeah, major freak out moments, a lot of them.
Good freak out.
Yeah.
Freak out, the best kind.
So what advice do you have for young men or women who are coming up in this space? I know you guys are much more of a product-based company, but still are very much influencers and have, you know, a very strong presence on social media, because that's where you got your start.
I think the main thing that I always say is to like trust, like just how our relaunch process, trust who you are organically, and what you're delivering is, whether you feel like it's oversaturated or not, it's you.
Yeah.
No one thinks like you, no one presents as you do. And so I think we often get like bogged down by like, there's so many people who are doing this and so many people who are doing that, but it's like their mind doesn't go from A to B exactly like yours. And if you really own that, you will find a niche that you can like sit in and then grow from.
Yeah, I agree. Mine, I think, is more spiritual based, but it's just like, what is your purpose? Do you feel like you're figuring out what your purpose is? Because whatever it is, you're going to work for that, or you should be working towards that purpose, you know, your passion, and then it'll come, you know. It takes time, It takes a lot of headaches. It's a process. I mean, we obviously took a break for a while, you know, because it was a lot for us. But ultimately, if it's what you want to do and you're passionate about it and you know that you're good at it and you have people around you who support you, and even if you don't, if you support yourself, you believe in yourself, go for it, you know, just go for it.
Sounds good. So you guys look stunning today.
Thank you.
Please tell me about the fits. Like, what are you wearing?
Well, these are not Mila and Fire.
Yeah.
This is good old H&M.
I was really hoping they were, but okay, go ahead.
We have some Mila and Fire looks
Yes,
here with
we
us
do.
though.
Yeah, we're
Yay!
changing into those.
I can't wait.
I don't think we're like camera appropriate though. It's a little short. So,
Oh, okay.
You know.
So then what brands do you guys shop when you're not wearing your own things?
It depends on the mood.
Yeah.
I'm a frugal fanny, so I love a sale. I love a good deal. So whoever has it, it can be any from.
So
any
you really
store.
are a thrifter.
I'm a serious thrifter. I love consignment. I love vintage, and I love like one of my favorite websites is The Real Real because it's all.
Oh my gosh, yes.
All labels.
Yes.
I like. She doesn't love labels. I love. You don't love
I would
them.
buy them for the real.
For the real. That's my site. Like all designer, but for like the low, and they always have a 20% off thing, which is kind of weird, but whatever, it works.
Yeah.
I got my wedding shoes from there. Like I love that
What?
website. Yeah.
Oh my
They were
god.
like Cavalli. They're Anyway,
I'm definitely a salesperson. I am like a online shopper probably, which is why like I do not like going in the stores.
No.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
overwhelming.
Me
It's
either.
so much.
Yeah, in my like spare time when I'm taking a break from work, I'll just go and build carts or like add carts, like take items out that are sold out, and whenever a site has a sale, that's when I'll check out, and whatever's left is like what I'll get. But
She online shops like probably weekly. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I love it.
Are you guys still taking customers for styling?
Oh
Of
yeah,
course.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
We got like an email I have to tell you about too, actually. But
Great.
yeah, there's a lot of really cool things happening. And besides that, another great part of like Mila and Fire getting back into it has taken me really back deeply into thrifting. And so I'm finding so many really good things for myself too. And she's always like, "Don't sell those. Like you should keep them." I'm like, I should. So it's taken me back into that space where it's like I'm finding really bomb
That
one
is
of a
so
kind pieces.
awesome. Yeah.
I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys are gonna have to teach me the skills.
Yes.
Of course. It's an actual thing though. Like there's like a science behind it, which we'll tell you after.
Yes.
Can't give the tea.
You
on
can't.
camera.
Yeah, you really can, but I walk in with purpose. Okay?
Yes,
I'm
you know
not
which
lingering
sections to
around.
go
I know,
to.
boom, boom. I'm looking for the specific color palettes.
Ooh,
like,
I want to go now.
materials.
Actually. I'm like I want to go.
Let's go with Baltimore.
Okay, so so I would say one thing I did learn from online shopping is definitely shopping the sale with purpose. Like there are seasons to it, and if you get to know the groove of it, you can definitely save so much money and still get the things you want.
Yeah.
So I think I love that you guys are like really smart and efficient about every piece of your process, even the things that you own yourselves, because so much of business is really about your spiritual well-being or like your personal purpose, like you guys were saying. If you don't apply the same processes that you're putting into your business in your actual life, there will be a disconnect. There's no alignment.
Absolutely.
So I love hearing that you guys actually you practice what you preach, and that is beautiful.
You have to. And thank you.
So thank you girls for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having us.
This was so much fun.